Hello, Quesnel, and welcome to Q Today. I'm Allison Duddy.
And I'm Mitch Vick, and this is our show for October 12th.
All right, coming up on today's show from The Observer, the Tillicum Society's annual powwow took place last weekend, and a local business celebrates 34 years in Quesnel.
And seniors speak out with Peter Nielsen, and he's got an interview with Bert DeVink, and we're looking forward to that. And also, Scott Elliott, a recent member of our Q Today team, has talked to an elder from our recent powwow, and he got some great footage of the regalia there, so let's look forward to that.
All right, thanks, Mitch. So here at Q Today, we bring you the recent news from our partnership with the Quesnel Caribou Observer and a little bit of our own commentary.
And we also bring you your own stories, and based on our field crew, and we would like to talk to you. We have some of our people out there, and they would definitely like to have a chat with you. Whatever you think is important, we think is important, so email us at qtoday@qcatv.ca with your story, or ask us to cover a story for you. And you know the community, and we would love to know more about you.
All right, so moving on to the news. Remember, we just give the highlights here. If you want to read all the details, pick up your copy of the Quesnel Caribou Observer. And now we're going to go over to Mitch for the news.
Our first story, the Quesnel Tillicum Society held its 34th annual powwow last weekend. There were some great photos in Wednesday's Observer. Otter McDonald took a great picture for the front page, and our own Dave Sutton contributed some photos as well. We'll have some more of Dave's pictures from the powwow in our Sutton's Shutters segment coming up a bit later in the show.
All right, thanks, Mitch. Now, Fire Prevention Week is wrapping up on the 13th, and this week's Observer had multiple tips for making your home safer and what to do if you should find yourself in a burning structure. Smoke and carbon monoxide detector safety tips included: when you change your clocks in the spring and fall, get in the habit of testing your smoke alarms at the same time. That way they get done twice a year for sure. Install one smoke alarm on every story and outside bedrooms, but if you sleep with bedroom doors closed, you need to have the alarms inside the room. Replace smoke alarms every 10 years and CO alarms every 7 to 10 years. And now, in case of fire, obviously, get out and stay out. Never go back into a burning building for any reason. Crawl low on the floor to the nearest exit, maintaining contact with the wall. Check doors and knobs are cool before opening doors. And if your clothing should catch fire, stop, drop, and roll. Now, besides all the tips, there was a great salute to the heroes of our local fire departments, the Quesnel Fire Department, West Fraser, and Barlow Creek Fire Departments. But I have to say, Mitch, I was kind of wondering where Kersley and Bushy Lake and some of our other local 10-mile fire departments were in there. So I'm wondering maybe they'll have a follow-up and do some of the other ones too.
Absolutely.
Anyways, we here at Q Today, and I know personally, we all just want to thank our local fire departments for everything that they do. I mean, they put their lives on the line for oftentimes strangers, which is a pretty amazing quality.
Notwithstanding their volunteers in many cases as well.
That's right, exactly.
Okay, so we're moving on to our next story. A local business, AC&D Insurance, is celebrating 34 years of providing homeowners, auto owners, and business insurance in Quesnel. Manager Sandra Lewis has been working in the insurance field since 1974, following in her father's footsteps. She trained on the job with her dad to start, but also has taken courses to increase her knowledge of the insurance business. Lewis explained that the Insurance Council requires continuing education credits each year prior to licenses being renewed. Working in insurance has also allowed Lewis to be in direct contact with the public, an aspect of her job she loves. She loves the insurance business so much, she says she finds it hard to envision herself doing anything else. When she isn't working, Lewis enjoys walking and enjoying the beautiful scenery, being involved with Rotary and taking day trips to Barkerville and showing the area to visitors. If you would like to make an appointment, you can call AC&D Insurance at 992-5544 or visit them on Reed Street at 234 Reed Street.
Okay, moving along, the Quesnel Art Gallery's October show is called A Walk on the Wild Side. It's a collaborative show featuring pieces from wood artisan Ted Stahl and visual artist Sherry Fraser. The work in the show depicts all 4 seasons and the wildlife activity within those times. This is Fraser's first show, and after determining her theme, she said she wanted a complementary artist to share her show. Although she didn't know Ted Stahl, she knew his work and felt that it would be a good fit with her work. So she was thrilled when Stahl agreed, and she said that she couldn't imagine anyone more suitable than Ted's working to partner in this. So once Stahl knew the theme, he began working on animals. He said he was a bit hesitant at first because he hadn't done many animals, but he did say he was up for the challenge. While several of his pieces utilize white pine, most are local material, including birch, which is a favorite of Ted's. He said this show gave him the opportunity to try a whole lot of different types of woods. Now, A Walk on the Wild Side is on display at the Quesnel Art Gallery at the Arts and Recreation Centre until October the 27th, and it is sponsored by the Rich Bar Nursery and Dunkley Lumber.
Excellent. And next up, moving into sports. Thanks to a dedicated team drawn from the community, Phase 3 of the Coraloo track was completed on September 17th. The track was built in 1986, and in 2008, a much-needed repair saw the track paved and about 1/4 of it rubberized. So we're proud to say we're finished. The paved section turned out to be hard on the knees and splints though. So this year, a team including Rod Grimm of the school district, Ed Coleman, the district coordinator, and Mary Glassford, a community volunteer, all worked to raise the $78,000 needed to renovate the track. The renovation included a new rubberized top coat of the full 400 meters and new stripping, along with the completion of rubberization of the remaining 300 meters of pavement. And we just want to mention on QToday that many groups in the community, service groups and whatnot, contributed money to this project. So everyone worked together to help see this $78,000 raised, and we're good to go. We're done.
That's awesome. It's great to see the community come together.
Yep.
So, okay, also in sports, in the Forestry Hockey League, Blue Collar took on Serenity, winning 4-3. Sounds close, but according to Steve Dodge, it would have been a blowout if it weren't for Serenity's goalie. And in the other contest, saw Fraser River skaters burn donuts around the Bear Communications team en route to a well-deserved 3-1 win.
And the Midget Rep Thunder, the Bantam Thunder, and the Pee Wee Thunder all went undefeated at the Icebreaker tournaments in Prince George, Williams Lake, and Quesnel recently. Great start to the season for all 3 teams, and we look forward to another great season of local hockey.
All right, awesome. You bet. Okay, so we're starting a new segment today. As Mitch mentioned earlier, Scott Elliott has joined us, and he'll be around town. Don't be scared, he doesn't bite, but he may come up to you and want to interview for the program. So let's take a look. Last weekend, Scott was at the powwow, and we've got the interview that Mitch mentioned. Let's take a look.
Scott Elliott, and we're here today. There's a traditional powwow going on, and this is around town. So maybe you could introduce yourself, sir.
Okay, my name is Gerald Carter. I'm from Deadman's Creek area. I'm one of the traditional elders from the territory, and I'm carrying with me the 4th-generation legal staff that we have for my generations. I'm the 5th generation of Big Bear, and we have 4 generations that dance with us, grandchildren. So this staff represents the 4 traditional dancers of our family, both on my wife's side and on my son-in-law's side. So we're Cree. I'm a Cree Indian, and my wife's Shuswap, and my daughter married into the South Thompson area. So we have three different nations that we have to work with and live by.
Wow. So can you tell me a little bit about this? I understand it's 4 generations, and these are eagle feathers?
These are all eagle feathers, and these represent the 4 generations of our dancers. These ones here represent into the spirit world, and these 17 feathers here represent the 17 nations in British Columbia. And inside you'll find 17 buttons which represent the 17 medicine bundles of Saskatchewan and Alberta. And on the bottom, there's 7 buttons here that we use, which represent the 7 laws of our customs and traditions and our lifestyles that we live with day by day.
Wow, that's incredible. And
This-
what do we have here then?
That's beaver. That's beaver pelt.
Okay.
And beaver is the one that most powerful animal that we have that preserves water for us where we don't have water, and we bring beaver in and we'll have water. So the beaver is always looked at as a very highly respected animal to preserve and work with the Indian people and other generations, other people like the white societies where they can have their water and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're here up from Kamloops.
Yeah.
And what's going on here today? It's a powwow, but maybe you could explain what's going to take place.
They're having a traditional powwow here. This is a national gathering. I don't know how many years now. Quite a few years. I think 33 years or something like that. They've had this powwow, and they've invited us to come in here, and we try and come every year as a family gathering and to support and to help the people of this community and the territory to promote to their powwows and to try and keep their powwows going. So this is what we do. We go to places like this as elders, and we try and help out as much as we can in order for them to have a better powwow each year. So this will go on, started last night, go on all day today, and then tomorrow probably quit about 3-4 o'clock. So this is how they do the powwow. There's no competition in this powwow. They're just honorary dancers that they pay off, and then they pay the drums off and the singers, and there's no competition, just straight traditional. So anything they do, everything goes, and whatever they decide to do is what they do to enjoy life. It brings people together. A lot of people travel long distance just to be here, to meet other people like friends and relatives and so forth. And sometimes we run into people where we adopt them into our families, and then we just go from there. So this is the purpose of the traditional celebration and traditional gathering for the people.
Fantastic.
And we have the feast also at 5 o'clock. So
All right.
yeah.
Well, I want to thank you very much for taking the
Yeah.
time to speak with me today. I'm really excited about being here for a little while, and we'll see if I'm able to get some more shots so long as
Sure.
everything's okay
Yeah,
with that.
right on.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, great footage.
was
Really
gorgeous.
amazing regalia. Always amazes me to see the powwows and the
bet.
fantastic effort there.
Yeah, thanks to Scott for getting that. for
Yeah,
us.
that was wonderful. So, what can we talk about here? What is this?
Well, this particular notice is actually to put on people's vehicle if you believe that they may be illegally parked in a disabled parking spot.
Uh-huh.
And that comes up, Mitch, because a friend of mine, Lynn Turner, and we went before City Council in September, and the council proclaimed October as Accessible Parking Awareness Month. So we're going out, doing a bit of a campaign, doing some presentations, and in a nutshell, what we're doing is trying to educate and just raise awareness around the proper use of parking permits and accessible parking spots also.
That's good.
So yeah, so you might be seeing us around town with our little notices and things like that in the next little bit.
That's good. I think that's a great idea.
All right, so moving along, now we have a new program, a segment of our program that is hosted by our QMag colleague Bert DeVink. Bert will be having a monthly interview with Peter Nielsen, president of the Voices for Seniors group. Now, the feature will be called Seniors Speak Out, as Mitch mentioned, and we're going to take a look now at the first installment of that. Here's Bert with Seniors Speak Out.
Hello, my name is Bert de Vink, and I'm here with Peter Nielsen, and we're going to have a talk about what is happening in the world of seniors. So, Peter, to start off with, what did you get involved in what you're doing? Because you didn't end up just being the president of the North Caribou Seniors Advocacy Group. So.
No, I got tired of the way seniors were being treated like second-class citizens, and I know it's province-wide, but I'm more concerned with the seniors in our own community in Quesnel and surrounding area. I had an instance where a very dear friend was in the hospital. I have been talking about doing something about our healthcare system mainly, and to my wife for a couple of years, and this instance really upset me. And I said, that's enough. Something's got to be done. We got to do something. And the group was formed on that premise.
Yeah. And so you started and you became the president as you are now.
Yes, we called a meeting together, or I called a meeting together at Robin's Donuts and put the word out, and we had a big turnout. So I was elected as president.
Yeah, I was there for that.
And we've grown ever since then. We need the seniors, we need the young people to get out to the meetings. People don't realize until we get into a situation that there are big problems out there. And my views are we never had the problems we've got now until we get these health authorities in our province. The wait lists have got longer, the treatment has dropped off,
Yeah.
backslid, and we got to do something. There's power in numbers. One or two people out there squawking to the powers to be just isn't enough. We've got to get organized, and we've had protests at the hospital. It's woken people up in higher places that we're not just here talking and we're going to go away. We're not going away. We're going to stay here as long as it takes to get something done with our health care and home care. And
So what you're saying is that the misery you have encountered and listened to from a lot of seniors, it made you go and take action.
yes, and after starting this group, I average 2 or 3 phone calls a week with horror stories that are going on in our community.
Yeah.
And hopefully we're doing some good. I feel we are. We're helping individuals on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. Our local MLA is helping. I get referrals from his office on different situations here in town, and from the Lions Club, and so hopefully we're making a difference.
I hope so too, Peter, because actually since I joined the group you're president of, as you know, I have become a lot more aware of what was really happening. You know, we all tend to sometimes live in our own little circle, and if it is relatively safe, don't rock the boat, sort of a thing. And but it made me aware of what is really happening and how many seniors are falling through the cracks. And it is not just seniors in normal life, but we also talking about the veterans, for instance. A lot of veterans are now starting to fall through the cracks as well. And they are seniors as well, besides being veterans. At least that's the way I look at it.
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, seniors have a tendency, because of the way they were brought up, people in power are God in their view, and
I know.
they don't want to buck the system. And I have people, even like with home care, I can't complain about our home care and the way I'm getting treated, because they're allowed to take it away from me. And our group is a fallback that we can get out there and speak on their behalf. And that's why I formed the group,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be a voice for the people that are afraid to speak out.
yeah. Well, so I hope that the monthly program which we have here now on Shaw Cable will also extend the message that has to go out, because sooner or later everybody is going to be a senior. You know?
Yeah, we're all getting older, and it's just not the seniors. I find people 30, 40 years old, well, we got lots of time, and it's not affecting us, and you know, it goes on and on, but yes, it is going to affect them. Unfortunately, we don't start off at 80 years old or 100 years old and get younger.
Yeah.
We start off like everybody else, and we get older, and we need the
Yeah. Yeah.
solutions out there. And the seniors that I deal with, they helped form this town, this country. They fought for it, and to be pushed aside after you're a certain age, it's like, oh, no sense of doing surgery. You're gonna die of it sooner or later, probably sooner than later. That's not good enough. They can't be treated that way, in my opinion.
No. Well, you must remember the time too, in the mid-60s, actually, when all this Medicare and all that stuff came into being. You know, before that, it wasn't there at all. So, yeah, it is this generation that has brought up, you know, Tommy Douglas being an instigator there, that has brought up a lot of the things we enjoy today. And, yeah, I think that quite often is forgotten. You know?
It's all forgotten. Seniors are forgotten. They're put on a back burner somewhere and left to fend for themselves, and it's not fair to them. And this province here is one of the only provinces that you have to pay for your health care.
Yeah, yeah.
New Brunswick, a have-a-not province. You do not pay for health care. You haven't paid for health care ever in New Brunswick.
How about Quebec?
Quebec's the same way. Ontario and BC used to be the two only provinces that you paid for your health care.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't quote me to be 100% on it, I think now in Ontario, the province pays for our health care. So BC, I've heard the comment, BC means bring cash. And it's true. More stuff is going up every single day.
I know, yeah. Yeah, I've witnessed it myself. You know, my pension has been cut down. I have a small government pension, and it used to include extended health, and they just took it away. But they never reimbursed me for, say, hey, you have a small pension, here's some more money, because we took that away. They just took it. You know, so there's a whole lot of things, and in my case, I really can't complain. I think I have a pretty good life, but it is getting tight, very tight.
Well, it is with the HST coming in. They said it was only going to cost each individual only $300-400 a year extra.
Yeah.
That your light bill is your $300 or $400 extra.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's ridiculous. And seniors, the pensions don't go up to the cost of living.
No.
You might get $1 here or $1 there, but not enough to really survive on with the way the cost of living's going up. So again, seniors are put on a back burner, and we got to do something about it.
Well, at this point we are doing something about it, Peter. We're talking about it here, and we'll do that once a month, and we'll keep people informed as to what is going on in the senior situation.
I
Thank you
hope
very
so.
much for coming down.
Thank you, Bert. Thank you.
And just as a little footnote to that great interview, we want to point out on Q Today that there is the next meeting for the Voice for Seniors will be at 2 p.m. on October 18th at the Legion if you want to come out and learn more about issues affecting seniors in our community. And now let's take a look at our community calendar and see what's going on.
All right, well, now it's time for Sutton's Shutters. As we mentioned earlier, Dave was out last weekend at the powwow. He took some great photos. So let's take a look at some more of those pictures that Dave took.
Fantastic. He has a gift, doesn't he?
He does.
Amazing photos. Before we close, we have a little news from our Lions sponsor, from our local Lions Club. On October 27th, they will be having their next garage sale, so we invite you to go check out the goodies they have for sale there and the great deals. As an additional little piece of excitement for the garage sale, they have some silent auctions going on. And I'm sure we can get a little shot of that, but we have some silent auctions to raise money there, and we invite you to go and bid on those items. And also, the biggest news the club has recently is their shopping spree, which is going to be an amazing, exciting event going on in Quesnel. We need you to get out there and support the club, buy some tickets. Cost you $5 for a ticket for your chance to win a 5-minute shopping spree in Save On Foods. A couple exclusions, but you can race around like a madman and fill up your buggy as many times as you can in 5 minutes. So that'll be a lot of fun, as well as a really neat prize. So we invite you to support the Lions Club and pick up some tickets. You can get tickets throughout town, most importantly at Save On you can get tickets, but you can also get them at K-Max and a few other local vendors. That's all I got on that front.
All right. Well, next week on Q Today, we'll have some footage from the last farmers market in our new Around Town with Scott segment, and also a short interview with Tom Moffat and his special collection. You'll have to tune in to see what that's all about.
Well, you got me hooked. Well, that's it for this show. We want to hear from you with your story ideas, which we will air on our program, on TV, and on the social media. We also want to hear your comments about our show, and we want to know how you think we're doing. As we leave you today, we have some fantastic footage from Scott Elliott, who attended the recent powwow, and check that out.
You bet. Now remember, Q Today is about Quesnel talking to Quesnel.